Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you try, your blood sugar still refuses to come down? You eat balanced meals, you've cut out desserts, you take your medication exactly as prescribed, and maybe you even go for a walk after dinner. But somehow, every morning, your glucose readings are higher than they should be. It's frustrating, confusing, and discouraging. But what if the culprit isn't what you eat, it's what you drink? More specifically, what if your morning drink, that very first thing you consume after waking up, is silently sabotaging all your hard work? Before we continue, I'd like to tell you about Diacylon, a powerful blend of 13 natural ingredients, each carefully selected for their proven ability to support healthy blood sugar levels, enhance insulin sensitivity, and promote overall wellness. You can read more on diacylon.com. Whether you're a coffee lover, a tea drinker, a smoothie enthusiast, or someone who starts the day with fruit juice, what you choose to sip in the morning plays a massive role in your metabolic balance. Let's begin by talking about what happens to your body in the morning, a period known as the dawn phenomenon. Around 4 to 8 a.m., while you're still asleep or just waking up, your body releases a surge of hormones like cortisol, growth hormone, and adrenaline. These hormones trigger the liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream to give you energy for the day ahead. It's a normal, natural process, your body's way of saying, let's get moving. But here's where the problem arises for people with diabetes or insulin resistance. Your pancreas either doesn't produce enough insulin or your cells don't respond to insulin properly. That means all that extra glucose from your liver stays floating around in your bloodstream. So before you've even had breakfast, your blood sugar might already be elevated. Now imagine starting your day by drinking something that spikes it even higher, like a sugary coffee, a fruit juice, or an energy drink. Your body's already struggling to bring your glucose back to balance, and instead of helping, that drink throws gasoline on the fire. That's why understanding what's in your morning beverage is so critical to keeping your blood sugar under control. Let's start with the world's favorite morning ritual, coffee. Coffee is more than just a beverage. It's a lifestyle. For millions, it's the first thing they think about when they wake up. The aroma, the warmth, the comfort. It's the fuel that starts the day. But for those managing diabetes, coffee comes with some complications that many people don't realize. Coffee itself, when black and unsweetened, has almost zero calories and can even offer antioxidant benefits. However, the caffeine in coffee is the key issue. Caffeine can increase levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which signals your liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. It can also temporarily reduce your body's sensitivity to insulin, meaning that your cells don't absorb glucose as efficiently. Studies have shown that even a single cup of coffee can cause a noticeable spike in blood sugar for certain individuals, especially when consumed on an empty stomach. And that's before we even talk about what's added to the coffee. Once you pour in sugar, flavored syrup, caramel drizzle, sweetened creamers, or even milk with lactose, that simple black coffee turns into a dessert in disguise. A medium-sized flavored latte can contain as much as 40 to 50 grams of sugar. That's like drinking a can of soda before breakfast. Over time, those small daily spikes in blood sugar can contribute to insulin resistance and make it harder to maintain stable glucose levels throughout the day. If you can't give up coffee completely, consider limiting your caffeine intake, switching to decaf, or enjoying it with a balanced meal instead of on an empty stomach. Now let's move on to tea, another popular morning beverage often seen as a healthier alternative to coffee. Tea can absolutely be a part of a diabetic-friendly diet, but only if consumed correctly. Many people believe that tea, especially green or herbal tea, automatically means healthy, but that's not always the case. The problem often lies in how it's prepared and what's added to it. Most people add sugar, honey, or sweetened condensed milk to enhance the flavor, not realizing how much sugar that adds up to over time. Even 1 teaspoon of sugar in your morning tea multiplied by 30 days equals more than 100 grams of sugar a month. And that's just from your drink. Bottled teas and ready-to-drink tea beverages are even worse offenders, with many containing 25 to 35 grams of added sugar per serving. Some teas marketed as detox or energy blends contain fruit concentrates or hidden sweeteners that spike your glucose without you realizing it. The good news is that when chosen correctly, tea can actually help regulate blood sugar. Green tea, for instance, contains antioxidants known as catechins that may improve insulin sensitivity. Cinnamon tea has been shown to lower fasting glucose levels. Ginger tea helps with digestion and may aid in blood sugar control. So the key isn't avoiding tea, it's about choosing unsweetened, pure forms and avoiding unnecessary additives. Now let's tackle one of the biggest myths in nutrition, fruit juice. So many people wake up and reach for a glass of orange juice, thinking it's a healthy way to start the day. After all, it's natural, it has vitamins, and it's made from fruit. How bad can it be? The problem is that fruit juice, even when labeled as 100% natural, is still extremely high in sugar and lacks the fiber that whole fruit contains. When you eat a whole orange, for example, the fiber in the fruit slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, preventing spikes. But when that orange is turned into juice, all that fiber is stripped away, leaving behind pure fructose, a natural sugar that your liver has to process. A single glass of orange juice can contain 25 to 30 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to about 6 or 7 teaspoons. Drinking fruit juice on an empty stomach causes a rapid surge in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves you tired and hungry shortly after. Over time, this daily habit can contribute to chronic hyperglycemia, weight gain, and worsening insulin resistance. The best alternative is to skip the juice altogether and eat whole fruit instead. Or, if you love the ritual of drinking something fruity in the morning, make a diluted version. Mix a splash of fresh juice with sparkling water, or add lemon slices to your water for flavor without the sugar overload. Another common morning favorite, especially among health-conscious individuals, is the smoothie. Smoothies are often marketed as healthy, nutrient-packed power drinks. And they can be, but only if they're made carefully. Many store-bought smoothies are loaded with sugar, even the ones labeled natural or organic. The problem isn't just the fruit, it's the combination of high-sugar ingredients like bananas, mangoes, pineapples, and sweetened yogurt, often blended with fruit juice or flavored protein powders. Some smoothies can easily contain 60 to 80 grams of sugar in a single serving, which can cause massive spikes in blood glucose levels. Even homemade smoothies can become problematic if they're not balanced. The trick is to combine ingredients that help slow down sugar absorption. Use low glycemic fruits like berries, which are rich in antioxidants but lower in sugar. Add a source of protein like Greek yogurt or protein powder, and include healthy fats such as chia seeds, flax seeds, or almond butter. These additions help slow digestion and keep blood sugar stable for longer. Remember, it's not just about what's in your smoothie, it's about the ratio of carbs to protein and fat. Now, we can't forget about specialty coffee drinks, those fancy lattes, cappuccinos, and frappes that are everywhere these days. They look harmless, even comforting, but they're some of the most sugar-packed drinks you can find. A large caramel frappuccino can contain upwards of 70 grams of sugar, more than twice the daily limit recommended for people with diabetes. Even plant-based alternatives like oat milk or soy milk can contain hidden sugars unless you specifically choose the unsweetened versions. These drinks not only raise blood sugar quickly, but because they're high in both sugar and fat, they can also prolong the elevation, keeping your glucose levels high for hours. The best option? Stick to black coffee, unsweetened cold brew, or coffee with a small splash of unsweetened almond milk. If you miss the flavor, try adding a sprinkle of cinnamon or a drop of vanilla extract. Both can enhance the taste naturally without affecting your blood sugar. Another group of morning drinks that deserves attention are energy drinks and vitamin waters. These are often marketed as healthy or energizing options for busy mornings. But in reality, many are loaded with sugar, artificial sweeteners, and stimulants. Even sugar-free versions can cause problems because artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose may disrupt your gut microbiome and interfere with insulin sensitivity. Some drinks contain maltodextrin, a carbohydrate that raises blood sugar just as quickly as regular sugar. And let's not forget the caffeine content. Energy drinks often contain double or triple the caffeine of coffee, which can increase cortisol levels and trigger additional glucose release from the liver. So while you may feel energized initially, The crash that follows can leave you fatigued, jittery, and craving more sugar later in the day. Here's something that many people overlook. The timing of your morning drink matters just as much as what's in it. Drinking caffeine or sugar before eating anything can magnify its impact on blood sugar levels. When you consume coffee or juice on an empty stomach, your body's stress response is heightened. Your cortisol levels are already naturally elevated in the morning, so adding caffeine on top of that pushes your blood sugar even higher. That's why some people notice that their glucose monitor spikes even before breakfast. A simple fix is to change the order. Eat first, then drink. Having a protein-rich breakfast before your coffee or tea can help blunt that glucose spike. Eggs, avocado, nuts, or even a small serving of Greek yogurt are great options that stabilize blood sugar and give you a steady source of energy. So what should you drink instead? The simplest and most powerful option is water. Drinking water first thing in the morning helps rehydrate your body after a night's rest and supports your kidneys in flushing out excess glucose. You can make it more enjoyable by adding lemon, cucumber, or mint. Herbal teas are another excellent choice. They're naturally caffeine-free, soothing, and can even help regulate blood sugar. Cinnamon tea has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, ginger tea aids in digestion, and green tea contains compounds that enhance fat metabolism and glucose control. If you love coffee too much to give it up, try switching to decaf or drinking it with food instead of on an empty stomach. Consistency is key. Managing diabetes isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, smart choices every day. Track how your body responds to different drinks. Use a glucometer or continuous glucose monitor to see what happens before and after your morning beverage. You might be shocked by the difference. That data can guide you toward what works best for your body, because everyone's metabolism is unique. Let's also touch on artificial sweeteners. While they might seem like a good replacement for sugar, studies have shown that some artificial sweeteners can still trigger insulin responses or alter gut bacteria in ways that affect glucose metabolism. If you need to sweeten your drink, natural options like stevia or monk fruit extract are much safer. They're low in calories, have little to no impact on blood sugar, and can satisfy your sweet cravings without derailing your glucose control. Finally, let's talk about habits and mindset. Many people drink their morning beverage out of routine or emotional comfort. That cup of coffee, that sweet smoothie, it's more than a drink. It's part of their identity, their morning ritual. But understanding how deeply that small choice affects your health is empowering. You don't have to give up your favorite drink completely. You just have to modify it. When you start the day with the right choices, everything else becomes easier. So to wrap things up, remember this. The drink you start your morning with has the power to either stabilize your blood sugar or send it soaring. Coffee, fruit juice, smoothies, and energy drinks can all raise your glucose levels, sometimes without you realizing it. But with simple swaps like herbal tea, lemon water, or unsweetened black coffee, you can protect your health and start your day in balance. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you valuable health information. And always remember, managing diabetes is not about restriction, it's about awareness. What you drink in the morning could be the missing key to unlocking better blood sugar control and a healthier, more energetic life.